there is they have agreed to take all of the spent fuel rods from Japan and reprocess them in France. And they didn't mention how they would get it there, but I'm assuming they would go in some kind of a vessel on the ocean to get them there. And I just think the whole thing is very suspect. And there are things happening that we don't even know about. They're not telling us everything, like what's going to happen, what are they... They're doing nothing that I'm aware of, and I look at this several times a day to entomb this nuclear plant. And they say they can't entomb it, but there has to be something they can do to completely shut it down and get rid of it. I mean, you're always going to have the effect of it, but in Chernobyl, they entombed it.
We're going to have to take a break here in just a minute, but I'm curious why there isn't a huge flotilla made up of personnel from countries all over the world who have come to Japan's aid in some way to either dump concrete on it. It's too hot to dump concrete on it. They say that the number 4 is so hot, it'll take 10 years before it cools off enough to even be able to crack the lid and take a look at it. So I'll tell you what, when we have to take these breaks, our beloved sponsors and so forth. But when we return, let's talk about what appears to be either denial, apathy, or impotence on behalf of the world community in addressing the escalating, but on the down low, Fukushima disaster. We'll be back with Dr. Theresa Dale in a moment. Well, that's for sure. I can't think of a better name for the site than InfoWars, because it is an information war. Once you put the disinformation in the loop, now you've really got yourself a brouhaha. We're speaking with Dr. Theresa Dale about the Fukushima disaster and some countermeasures that can be taken for it. Dr. Dale, I presume this could happen here pretty easily, considering the most of our plants are pretty safe, but we are, all it takes is an earthquake that nobody expected, and we've got the same situation here.
Well, we have a very similar situation here, and we need to understand that there are a couple of nuclear plants. The one in San Onofre is built right on a fault line. Now, I don't know who the genius was who decided to do that, but it's built right on a fault line, and they do have releases of radiation from it, because I have patients that live in the community not too far from it, and they have little warning, audio warning devices that are on top of poles. So if there is a radiation release, that there's a warning that goes off. But what can you do when they release it? So I believe that Germany and some other countries have it more together, because they have decided to completely eliminate nuclear radiation by 2020, 2021, that they should be free of it and using wind power and solar power. So this is what we need to start looking at in the United States, because all of our nuclear plants are not safe. And just because they tell us they're safe doesn't mean it's true. One of the things I wanted to bring up at this point was there is a physicist called Dr. Michio Kaku from University of New York, and he claims, and I think he's the most accurate, is that Fukushima is 25 to 30 times of what Chernobyl was, and that it is very, very dangerous because it's continuing. It hasn't stopped, and
right.
So we are getting exposed to this on a daily basis.
Yeah, if you look at the Wonder Map with a U, Wonder Map, you see the wind patterns. It's mostly falling Well, obviously the fish habit that are being caught off the coast of California down around San Diego. But according to this chart, it's mostly the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington State. Is it coming any farther south than that, according to the reports of any effects that people are experiencing in California? In fact, I guess my question is, how far south is this coming, and are you beginning to see patients who are having symptoms?
Yes, well, that's an excellent question. There is a full-time radiation monitors, an environmental journalist who is monitoring it in Santa Monica, and says it's 10, 20, 30 times in different areas higher than it's ever been now, and it's increasing. And that's in Santa Monica, California, which is very close to L.A., just north of L.A. And it is all over California, I can tell you that. And Seattle, Washington residents were actually breathing 5 to 10 hot particles per day last year. And I suspect it's the same now since it hasn't stopped yet. And so therefore, we all need to start learning about food and what to eat and how to clean it, and to learn protocols that we can have a healthier life, what not to eat, what to eat, and perhaps buy a little radiation monitor so we can test our foods, a little portable one.
Yes, indeed. Well, now you treat the patients. You do not actually provide this equipment. Am I understanding this correctly?
I don't sell the equipment, no, but they can find it on various websites on the internet, so they can check it out, and it's almost palm size. And so this would be, I think, a very smart decision to invest a little bit of money in something to help you for a very long time. And when I work with clients, with patients, it is to detoxify them, to cleanse them, and to assess their current health situation so that we can,
maybe save them.
How to stay well.
Yes. All right. We'll be back with Dr. Theresa Dale. This is the Alex Jones Show. John Wells sitting in. We'll be back. Version of the good, the bad, the ugly. And isn't that what we're talking about? Isn't that what the hokey pokey's not what it's all about? It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Dr. Theresa Dale is with us. Her website address is wellnesscenter.net. And she is amazing. I don't want to use any of those NSA keywords like don't blow up her website or don't crash. Well, too late. Go to wellnesscenter.net and look at her accomplishments and look how much of her life she has devoted to this. And this is a true, Theresa, you're a true doctor in my opinion. You are a real healer. You are not a pill pusher. You are not a product seller. You are a healer of fellow human beings, and really I applaud and salute you. Now on the InfoWars store site, Thyrosafe and Modifilin is available. And then this is not an infomercial for me, but I've been doing this for a while and have not promoted it much, but I have a website called caravantomidnight.com. Caravantomidnight.com. And we make Geiger counters available for people. I carry one with me, and I carry it into the grocery store. So other than that, doctor, what can we do? They're not testing the grass. I take it they're not testing the meat, but they are testing...
We're mostly, as far as the good, bad, or the ugly, we're mostly talking about the bad and the ugly here.
Right, yeah.
And I am not an alarmist, but everybody really needs to perk up their ears and listen to this, and then I'm going to give them my recommendations for what to do. Listen to this. After 25 years, after Chernobyl, 25 years after Chernobyl, the catastrophe happened, there are over 1 million deaths documented from it, and there are over 8 million disabilities. And that number keeps growing because of the half-life of cesium, strontium, and plutonium, and uranium. So the mortality rate projections continue to grow from 25 years ago, from Chernobyl, and this is 25 to 30% worse than Chernobyl. Everybody's ears need to be perking up. Get your pen out. Write down these things that John's telling you, and I'm going to include some things about the diet that is so very important.
Well, please do that. And I'm just going to sit quietly, and I will let you know I'm still here, but tell them everything you want to tell them.
Okay. First of all, you need to wash your plants and your vegetables and eat a plant-based diet. You want to wash them very carefully. You can put them in a sink of water, and you can either get an ozone generator and stick an ozone tube in the water and ozonate it. Or you can use 35% food-grade hydrogen peroxide in a sink full of water and take a quarter of a teaspoon or half a teaspoon, no more than that, in the water, swish it around. Be careful, you can burn your fingers with it. It's very, very powerful, and it will wash the vegetables, clean the vegetables, and then you want to give them a clean rinse after that, okay, to wash everything off of it. You want to do dietary plant fibers because these are sulfur-containing antioxidants. These contain sulfur-containing antioxidants.
Okay.
They're found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale and cabbage, along with the pectins in fruit are very, very good. Now, green tea is very good for you, except if it comes from Japan. You must not buy anything from Japan, okay? Some pasta, macrobiotic pasta, can be from Japan. It's on the wheat in Japan. You don't want to buy any foods from Japan.
Oh, boy.
Read the label very carefully, okay? And so we also want to look at green tea, where it's from. Matcha tea is from Japan. Many different things. Ginseng, a lot of it is grown in Japan, but some of it is in China. We want to eat as many vegetables as possible. Make sure when you have leafy vegetables that those are well washed, and I would wear rubber gloves when you're doing the hydrogen peroxide in it, and make sure that you don't burn your skin. Also, there are radiation formulas that I've created. One that helped me to detoxify the radiation, it's just called homeopathic radiation. And it comes in a kit with biologically available iodine. It's on my website at naturalhealingpro.com. And the other one that's very good is Ocean Meds, and this helps your thyroid. The radiation, homeopathic, the biological iodine that I've created work to help the thyroid, the lungs, and the whole body to protect it, to detoxify it. The homeopathic radiation works on a cellular level to neutralize radiation in your body. It's the only way that I think that you will have 100% success. But you also need to take the iodine to protect the thyroid as well. So we need to stick to a plant-based diet. I wouldn't eat animal products. I wouldn't eat beef. I wouldn't, because they're eating the grass, and they're eating feed, and the radiation could be in the feed. I mean, it's really a big issue that we need to pay much more attention to if we want to help humanity and help America to stay safe.
Tell me your website again. Natural Human what?
Naturalhealingpro.com.
Oh, Natural Healing Pro. Okay, good.
Naturalhealingpro.com. And, people need to be aware of the symptoms of ionizing radiation exposure.